Okay, good morning, guys. This may or may not be a different day. I may or may not be wearing the same outfit as yesterday. It happens. Um, yeah, it's a different day. Anyways, I thought today we would talk about Rusty. I think it's time, and I think I don't think I'm gonna cry. So I think enough time, and um, I started talking about it yesterday and I started crying, and so it took me by surprise because I haven't cried since this one thing happened. So I'll kind of share that. So anyways, what happened with Rusty was I had noticed like he had been like slowing down some, even like his walks, he didn't want to go very far. His little legs would like shake, and so I would have to carry him, or he he was going downhill. And I noticed that there was like a little bit of a bulge on his tummy, but it wasn't hard. And I don't know, I just thought, okay, I don't know what that is, but I'll have it checked out. Meanwhile, I had made an appointment with his vet down south, um, to take care of things in his mouth, some issues and stuff. They couldn't do it before because he had a heart murmur. And so they just said, we're afraid that, if we put him under with anesthesia, he might not react well because of that heart murmur. And so they didn't want to chance it. Just, cleaning his teeth and stuff like that. So at this point, I'm like, we have to chance it because there's some, major issues going on in his mouth. And so I had planned to do that. And anyways, like I said, this happened really quick. He stopped wanting to eat, or not eat as much. He was sleeping a lot. He was, I just figured, he's getting older, he's an old man. He's over 100 years old. I don't know, like 108 or something like that. He's, um, I can't do the math right now, but it's up there, and I thought, there's not a lot of 108-year-old guys out there, like hiking and, like walking every day and stuff. And so I took that in consideration and stuff. And so, but this, like I said, it happened really quick. It happened like pretty much overnight. Thank God I decided to stay like at a Harvest Host location. I hadn't used Harvest Host or Boondocker's like in months. And then this one time I decided, sorry, my hair is bothering me. When I don't want to brush it, I just put it up. And sometimes I just don't brush it. Anyways, thank God I stayed at a Harvest Host location, because of what happened. And he didn't want to eat. He started you could just tell something was going on. And he was starting to have diarrhea, and there was like red stuff in it. And I just figured it was, he had a couple raspberries. I had given Roxy and Rusty a couple raspberries, and she was fine with it. You could see it in their stool, like a couple times, but it was like, it's no big deal. And so I figured, it was just that. And then it started, it was like more and more. And I thought, okay, maybe he ate something. Normally he's not the one that eats everything on the ground, but maybe he picked up something and it's just not, agreeing with him. So I gave it some time. He started to just basically have, signs of like almost like food poisoning. So I was going to give him some, what's it called? Activated charcoal. And I couldn't get him to take it or to eat. And so I thought, okay, let's just let this, pass through. And so we stayed the night, and I'm not kidding, every hour on the hour, he was needing to go outside. And thank God we had stayed there because it was a safe location where I can go outside, take him out in the middle of the night, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, and, let him do his business without any concerns about what's or who's around, you know. And so, yeah, poor little guy. He just, that was a hard, tough night for us. And then the next day I thought, okay, give it some time. But then he started to vomit, you know, basically like bile, because he had nothing in his tummy. Thank God he was drinking a little bit of water. I would bring a little bit of water to him at a time. And I just wanted to make sure he was hydrated. And I would check his gums, because if their gums are white, that means that they're getting dehydrated and they're not, you know, they're not well. But his gums were still kind of pinkish, you know. So I just thought, okay, whatever this is, we gotta, you know, let it pass through. And then I tried to contact a few vets, pet hospitals up there, and nobody could see him like that day or the next day. And I needed to find a place that would take walk-ins. So this one place told me you can backtrack and go up back to where you were, and there's a place that has that takes walk-ins. So I did that, and I got there just in time. They were closing up basically, and I just said, no, I'm not leaving. He has to be seen. He cannot go through what he's going through like another night. Like, he will, like, that's just not right. And so they were just so accommodating. They were, even like the vet, like the people there were so amazing. The vet, it was a woman, a young girl, a young lady, and she even had her baby like strapped to her back, you know, like total like granola mom, you know. And I just thought, oh, like, this is awesome. And when I took him in, he wasn't like shaking. He wasn't scared. Like, normally if I take him to a vet or anywhere to get like his nails clipped or anything like that, like, he shakes. He's so scared. And this place, he just felt so at peace. And so she said, yeah, he's got some issues going on. There was like this kind of bulge, a hard bulge on his tummy. And I had noticed that previously. I'm thinking he might have had cancer, but she said, you know, he's got some serious stuff going on, and, you know, he's older, and, you know, and so we had a long talk, and I finally made the decision that it was time to, you know, put him to sleep. And I didn't want him to suffer. I don't think he could have gone through surgery, especially with the heart murmur and everything. And I just said, you know, I think it's time. I don't want his, you know, quality of life to be, you know, so bad that he can't enjoy life. And he's had an amazing year. And it's just time, you know, and I was fine with that. I was very matter of fact. And I don't know, it was weird. It was just like I had peace about it. But then when we went through the procedure, when he took his last breath, like, it hit me. It hit me of the finality of it, and I didn't expect it, but it's like everything just, like, emotions just rushed through me, and I just started just bawling. And she's like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I didn't expect this, you know. And I just started crying, and I just held on to him, and you know, and it was hard to, like, ooh, it's happening again, just talking about it. But it was hard to leave him, you know. It was hard to drive away knowing that, you know, he wasn't going with us, and there was this absence, you know, without him. And even the next day, you know, it was just like, you know, you could feel there was a void. And yeah, we missed him. And I took Roxy for a walk, you know, and I could not stop crying. And I just prayed, and I said, God, I need a hug. Like, the only thing I need right now is just, you know, someone to hug. And I felt really like, I told my sons, but I didn't tell anybody else. And so I was able, you know, to talk about it, but it's like I couldn't, like, I would start crying and stuff, but my sons were there for me. And so I just said, I just need a hug. I need like a mama hug. And it was just so weird how God orchestrated it. I was at the beach, and I was walking Roxy, and this man stopped me, and he's like,